Welcome back to this edition of Grizzlies Daily. I'm your host Melek, and we got a great episode lined up. Let's first get into some few things because I'm recording this pretty early. It's about 9:15 in the morning. I can't lie to y'all. Today is already hectic. This ain't even got nothing to do with the Grizzlies. Um, yeah, Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups are arrested by the FBI for gambling. Uh, yeah, not really Grizzlies related, but craziest news happening right now, and I'd be lying if I didn't mention that right now. So there we go. Now let's get into the real nitty gritty. The Grizzlies looked like they were out down and out. I can't lie. Looked like they were down and out in that first half, but then the third quarter happened, and then the fourth quarter happened, and the Grizzlies turned it around to win the game 128 to 122. Our boy Ja 12. They called 12. He got 13. He got 35 points on 13 to 20 shooting. Also hit 2 threes. Had 3 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and that was pretty much it right there. Our boy Jaren. Hey, say what you want about Jaren. He hooped today. 18 points on 7 to 14 shooting from the field. He didn't hit a 3, so that was something that I kind of noticed right there. But rebounding wise, he had 8 rebounds. That's a team high. Definitely wish it was more, but hey, when it comes to Jaren, I can't be mad at it. He is rebounding, so I give him that. Also, 6 blocks, and this is mostly through 3 quarters. Hey, say what you want about Jaren. That was a pretty good game. Now for the negatives when it came to Jaren, turnovers. He had 5, and he did foul out, even though that last foul was probably one of the worst calls I've seen in a long time. So that was that. He did all that in 26 minutes. We'll get into him later on, but overall, I liked what I saw. KCP came in clutch in the second half. Cedric Coward, we gonna get into him, but I got some things to say about him. I got some things to say, and they're all positive. Maxence Prosper looked pretty good too. We'll get into all this right now, but real quick, just some other things. Zion also did pretty good. Had 27. Herbert Jones and Jordan Poole both scored 17, and then Sadiq Bey with 13. I will say, the Grizzlies did very good keeping Trey Murphy in check. That was the one guy I was worried about going into this game, and they literally left him just out of check in that second half. He only had 4 points and only hit 1 shot. So great job with the defense in the second half. I was really happy with that third quarter because, like I said, they did look down and out, but they did pull away with the win, and I couldn't be more happier. Other things that I noticed, Grizzlies did a good job with points in the paint, most of them coming in the second half. Did good with fast break points. Bench points did their thing. Turnovers, still at 17, but I definitely still got to improve on that, so that's something I also noticed. But other than that, pretty good game. I really enjoyed it. Met some of y'all there while I was at the game working. Hey, it was a fun vibe. Definitely, the NBA is truly back. Now, like I said, we talked about Cedric Coward. My boy went perfect. He went perfect in his debut. He went 5 for 5 with 14 points and had some very, very good defensive plays. Had a very good block, I believe, against Zion. I could be wrong, but he had some very good plays. So did Santi. Santi had a sequence where he blocked Zion twice. Honestly, surprised me. But switching back to Cedric Coward, 5 for 5 from the field, 4 for 4 from the three-point line. Free throw line. 3 rebounds, an assist, 2 steals, and a block. And he had a plus minus of 24. That was a team high. And I got to be honest, I put out a tweet saying we gotta have some uncomfortable conversations because Cedric Coward might have just outplayed your favorite role player, and that's gonna hurt somebody in the near future. Now, granted, hey, look, Gigi Jackson didn't touch the court. Vince Williams was obviously out, but man, all I gotta say is it's not looking good. And I'd argue a few things that I saw. I'm not going to jump the gun with them, but I argue a few things that I saw. Cedric Coward played great. Cam Spencer did his thing. He had a pretty looking 3, I think, in the third quarter. I don't know when it happened, but it was a pretty looking 3. I have a bunch of notes actually right here that I was working the game when I had my break. Mostly first half notes. But yeah, everything pretty much looked good in the second half. I liked what I saw. As far as the first half goes, um, Maxence Prosper looked really, really good. I can't even lie. Maxence Prosper looked really good. Um, Jerry came out aggressive in that first quarter. Let's see. Santi did really good with the defense. They did a really good job in that first quarter because the Grizzlies initially did go down 24-9, and after that point, they literally just brought it back and they closed the gap to 3. So I thought I saw how to prosper. Jalen Wells played a lot of ISO ball, which is something that I was really looking forward to seeing, and he did. Um, they kept the rebounds in control for most of the first half, and really that was really it. Now, as far as the positives, that was a good majority of what I saw. Jock Landale, he did what he could. He did what he could. That's all I'm gonna say. Santi, I can't even lie. Santi really, really, really had me skeptical going into that first quarter. I instantly looked at Santi and I'm like, yeah, he may not play most of this game, but he actually closed the game and it worked out for him. Now, obviously, we need more offensively because 5 points isn't just isn't gonna cut it. He did good on every other part, but it's just not gonna cut it. So yeah, that's when it comes to the positives. That's what I saw. Grizzlies kept the rebounds close. Assists, I like what I saw. Defense picked up. Defense picked up in the second half. They had 12 blocks as a team. Like I said, Jaren accounted for half of that. So I liked what I saw. Junior did like what I did. Now let's talk about the negatives. Let's talk about the things because it wasn't all jolly. Jaren fouling out. Like I said, that last foul, I didn't agree with it, but at the end of the day, you got yourself in that position. Didn't like what I saw. One of them being an illegal screen. I can't lie. Jaren is in year 8. I still don't know why he can't set a screen. That is something that really has to get fixed, especially with a pick and roll heavy system. Jock Landale also fouled out. That's why you saw Santi Aldama close the game at the 5, and he held his own. I can't lie. Like I said, Jock Landale, he tried. One of the things about the Grizzlies, though, they shot efficiently from the field, and they shot pretty good from the free throw line. The only thing, and I mean the only thing that really stuck out to me, the Grizzlies settled for way too many shots, and most of them coming in that second half. I can't even lie. I'm going to pull up the first half stats right here because I need y'all to understand like what I saw. In the first half, the Grizzlies took 23s and only made 5. Get to the second half, they trimmed it down a little bit, and they actually played their game where they try to, go in the paint. And it worked out for them. As far as other negatives, early on, Grizz was forced to shoot, led to a lot of one-and-done possessions, which is not good for the rebounding battle. KCP played really good, and then I literally wrote in my notes, Jaren still can't set a screen. That was at the first timeout with about 8:46 left in the first quarter. After that timeout, Maxence Prosper did pretty good, and that's when Santi started to play really, really bad in the first quarter, and that's when I really started to get skeptical, and that's when they went on their run where they went up by at least 15 points. Once again, too many jumpers, and the defense just was not good, perimeter and inside. They changed it up coming out of that. Second quarter, and this is where I really stopped taking notes, if I'm being honest. Ball movement looked good, although Jalen Wells, he had foul trouble early on. Now, he controlled it later on in the game and didn't really have an issue with it, but I didn't like what I saw from Jalen Wells where he had, no, second half. I was about to say, wait a minute. He had 3 fouls early on. There we go. He had 3 fouls early on that really kind of concerned me. Yeah, but he worked around and played this element of defense. Coward looked good, rebounds in control. Yeah, too many threes. And overall, the Grizzlies just settled for too many shots, and they had a slow end into the second half, and I'm glad they picked up on that. Another thing that needs to be noted, way too many fouls. Way too many fouls. I get it. The officiating wasn't to our liking, but we got to control that. I mean, I'm looking at this right now. Jaren fouled out. Jock Landale fouls out. Santi almost fouled out, and he had 5. And I'm thinking in my head, okay, if Santi gets his last foul, who do the Grizzlies put in? And this is why I say they probably should pick up somebody else to play their front court because you don't have the depth that you got, and you need to back that up because if you don't, it's going to cause a world of trouble, and they definitely need to figure that out. far as everything else, though, I did like what the others did. Like I said, I already pointed them out, but I did like the others. They stepped up when they needed to, and that's something that definitely needs to be good going forward. Only thing with the Grizzlies, though, definitely need to be out to an earlier start and stop settling for shots. Just because it's open doesn't mean you should take it. I mean, I saw too many guys that were open and just taking it because they were open. If it's not the shot you take, don't shoot it. And if you can get in, there were multiple times where the Grizzlies could have got a better shot. It's just that simple, and it hurt them early on. And I'm glad Islo emphasized on that. Another thing that Islo emphasized after the game, and I have it bookmarked right here actually. Islo did talk about Jaren being in foul trouble, and it seems like he's really trying to ingrain that in his head because where is it right here? Islo, when asked about what would be different this season with his team, he mentioned how his offense isn't a single action offense, won't be overly reliant on a two-man game. Honestly, I think with the output from Cedric Coward and Jalen Wells, I think we could see that come to fruition. He did say Ja isn't at full strength, but knows Ja will play hard, and we've got that proven because early, I want to say in the third quarter or maybe the fourth quarter, I'm not sure, Ja Morant literally rolled his ankle, but thanks to those ankle braces, he stuck it out and literally finished the game perfectly fine. Adrenaline is perfectly good. No telling on his status, but he's not on the injury report right now, so we just have to wait and see when it comes to that. And when it comes to Jaren's fouling, Islo mentioned that Jaren is entering his prime years and he has to play. He says, quote, "We are in the process of building trust, and that trust is a two-way street." Love accountability. Love the accountability. Jaren is coming up. Jaren, I would say a good two of those fouls, I wouldn't have blamed Jaren on. One of them was trying to battle for position in the post, and they literally called the foul on him, and that other one being the last one on Zion, which just didn't make sense. But, hey, glad guys are being held accountable for it because it shows that the players and the coaches have a good relationship, and it dwells down to the fans as well. Now, looking ahead to tomorrow. The Heat won't have Terry Rozier. Will that matter? Probably not, because Terry Rozier didn't even play a minute in their game against I already forgot who the Magic. And by the way, Desmond Bane did pretty good. I think he had 23 points, 21. He did pretty good. I'm happy for this. Yeah, I really don't have much of a preview for this game. One of the things that I want to look out for is Bam Adebayo. And that goes without saying, because if Bam gets his way with this front court, this depleted front court, and especially with Jaren foul trouble situation, you definitely have to worry about that. But I think there's a world where the Grizz can hold their own. I truly do think they can. Just looking at the stats, Norman Powell is also another name to watch out for. He did play really good. Wiggins played a pretty good game. Davion Mitchell played in more of a scorer role, which really surprised me. Bam did struggle, so I'm gonna look back and see what exactly the Magic did to fend them off, but they did pretty good. When it comes to other things, the Heat are pretty good at rebounding. I can definitely see that, so that's something that's definitely going to be watched out for, because one thing about the Heat, they do pretty good when it comes to second chance points. The fact that they don't have Tyler Hero right now is definitely going to help the Grizz, and the fact that they had a home crowd on their side is definitely going to help out. So definitely something to look out for. Yeah, really not much to this game right now, because like I said, we don't even know who the Heat are even going to have for real, because there's still a lot coming out with this FBI thing and the whole gambling situation, but there's nothing more to it other than what we already know. But yeah, that's really it when it comes to it. I like what I saw from the Grizz. I'm glad they stepped it up in the second half. Like I said, just really got to get out to that first half and get an early start, because if you get an early start, you can blow that game open and we won't have to come down to the wire. So, long story short, hey, shout out to the Grizz. Got it to win, starting off 1-0, like what I saw. I will say, though, one of the things we have to look out for, and this ain't even Grizzlies related, hey, Victor Wembanyama might be the best player in that division by the end of the year. And I love Ja, but the things I saw him do again, he made Anthony Davis look like a JV player. That's generally how I felt watching it. So definitely something to watch out for. This division is going to be competitive. Dallas has still figured it out. Obviously, they're dealing with some things. Pelicans with the same thing. Houston and San Antonio will be the biggest threats in this division. But the Grizzlies, hey, only a matter of time before they end up playing them and really see the test when it comes to that. But enough rambling. That's going to be a wrap for this edition of Grizzlies Daily. I really appreciate y'all for tuning in, and I appreciate everybody that's really tapped into these videos. Meeting me in person, let me know how much y'all enjoy it. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when the next video comes out. That's for this edition. I'll sign off, and I'll see y'all on Friday for game day. Peace.